Hello everyone, my name's Ayosie and I have a new journal I'd like to share with you. It's a vintage style journal with a fabric cover, and it's inspired by some old sheet music that I have, which in fact I think I will show you first. There's a secondhand bookstore near where I live, and they have a selection of vintage sheet music in a box, and I'm in there often. And so I've acquired a few of these, which are really beautiful. I just love the design and the typography on them, and they're really old. Oh, look at this. Look, see, it's falling apart. And it's got that on the inside. And there's that one. And again, that had something pretty in here somewhere. It's got stuff like that in there. Hope you can see that. There's this one, 1902. So pretty, this, and it's just properly old. This one some of you might recognize from my floral journals. There's this one. This one looks like it's been tea dyed, but it hasn't. It's just very old. I keep saying that. And yeah, it's really old. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that. And this one is really pretty. I love the writing on here. And there's that one. This one. And this one. So I'm showing you all of these because I used them as inspiration for the journal. I didn't use the original covers, but I did scan them in and made tags out of them. So yeah, so this has a fabric cover. It's got this lovely floral fabric there. It has lots of netting, lots of tulle and lace, and there's a bow on the side there, a couple of fabric flowers, some pearls. There's 3 layers of lace there, and this is some sheet music which I cut out and inked and then gessoed because I put too much ink on, and sewed that on. And I like that it says adagio, which means slow, because when you spend time journaling you do slow down and you're very much in the present. So that's the side, that's the closure. So I have put these doilies down to help me keep this in frame. I hope it works. So let's have a look inside. So the the inside cover is made from calico, so that's front and back, and then there's a couple of tuck spots which are made from calico as well, and canvas, and have got lace on, and a bit of lace there and a pearl, and it's the same on the back. I hope you can see that. So, and the book has got 3 signatures, 132 pages front and back, and I don't know the measurements actually, but most of the pages are A5 in size, but I will put the measurements in the description box below. So in the front inside cover I have this pocket or purse, or I don't know, it's a pocket that's made of fabric. It's made out of calico, and it's just got bits of lace and pretty tulle and fabric all sewn on, and there's a bit there and some trim there, and and inside here there are a couple of tags which I have also made from fabric. This is canvas, and on the front I have put some sheet music which is gessoed, so you can write on top of this if you wanted to. It's got some netting and some lace and a couple of little flowers there, and the same with that one. So they live in here. And then there is also an envelope which has got a make your own tag kit inside. There are loads of tags in the journal as well, so this is not in place of them, but I just thought it'd be nice to have a little thing that inspires your own creativity, because when you get a journal it's actually quite nice to make it your own as well. So there are, you know, as there are some blank pages and some embellished pages, and there's also a couple of these packs in there which I've put in. So what I did was I opened up an envelope and then sewed these on. So it's got a paper doily. This is vintage. This belonged to my friend Zoe, her grandmother. So she gave me some of these that were her grandmother's, and then this lovely fabric flower which I've sewn onto the envelope, and there's a lace trim there. And inside, there are lots of things. I have put in about there's three plain tags in there. Another of vintage doily there, some greaseproof paper. I just like the crinkle of that. Some tea-dyed paper. Some of that very old music that I've been going on about. This is like a sheet from that book, which I thought would be nice to make some tags with. Some gessoed sheet music, some gold fabric, some pretty rose fabric, some bits of lace, paper scrap, and some tulle and fabric. And that is all in that pack for your own enjoyment and for your own creativity. So that lives there. And then here is, I don't know if you recognize this from one of the music I showed you. I scanned it in and just made a tag out of it, and it's got some doily here, fabric doily, which I inked, a couple of flowers, some trim there, and a tag which I made with some of the materials that are in there. Just, I don't know, just so you get an idea of how you could make one. So that's got a bit of tulle, lace, fabric, paper doily. There's a hint of sheet music under there, you can't really see it. And on the back is tea-dyed paper and some gessoed sheet music all sewn on. So there's two tags here, because there's two pieces. I won't attempt to pronounce that because I don't speak French very well. And so there are two tags in there. And this is the other one. I like these shabby tags. So that's got sheet music, bits of doily, there's a bit of fabric in there. There's underneath is some calico which I stamped and sprayed with some dark acrylic paint. There's a bit of middle of a doily there, some greaseproof paper, and on the back you can write on, and it's got a calico tag. So there's quite a few of these tags in this journal. So that's the first page. Anything else in there? No. And a scan of some sheet music which says romance, and some lace trim, and that's another bit of thing that I scanned in. I would like to make some printables with these things, because that would be quite nice, but technology and myself are it's a budding friendship. It's not quite developed yet. My technology skills are not brilliant, so I suspect I need a better scanner, but we'll see. This is a tag which I made from one of the pieces, just so pretty, and that's printed out and inked, and it's got a couple of layers of lace and a bit of a paper doily all sewn around the edge. And this is some a calico tab which I stamped with some vintage photo ink. And all the paper clips have got a bit of this netting on it as well. So another scan of the music cover with some lace sewn all the way around. And this is a piece of music from one of those books which I sewed a ruffle onto, and there's a fabric rose on there. That's the back. This is a tuck spot made from some rose scrapbook paper, some lace, like a flower cut out, fabric flower, and some fabric. And in here are a couple of tags. This one is made from greaseproof paper, which I used for tea dyeing, and it's got some lace sewn on. And this one is, there's about 3 of these ones in the journal. It's got some silk at the top. Yeah, just different fabrics on canvas. lace, fabric, paper doily, which I sprayed. There's a hint of a tea bag under there as well, actually. And on the back is some gessoed music paper, which you can write on too. So that's that tuck spot there. Some lovely tea-dyed pages. There's another tag. I'm hoping that I don't get these paper clips stuck, which happens when I do these flip throughs. They get stuck in the thread of the of the tags that I've sewn. So far so good. There's a bit of vintage doily on there, and just a tag which has been inked, and you can write on the back. This is the middle of the first signature, and I did some like a collage spread. I really like these, and there's another tag here which is really shabby. Got bits of calico on there. It's been inked. There's some paper doily there, some lace, some trim, ribbon tag, and tea-dyed card on the back that you can write on. I really like this one. It's very pretty. And in here is like it's just like a double spread collage of things. A couple of these postcards, bird image sewn on. It's all been sewn onto the page. Hint of music there, and you can write there. There's some fabric there and there. And I left the back. I didn't cover up the sewing on the back because I just really like the patterns that it makes. I like that that's a box that could frame something, or you could just write or paint on this actually, because this particular page is card. So that's that. Lots of blank pages, some music paper, and that's sewing. The sewing on the other side, but I like the way that that's becomes a frame for something. Another printable with some lace sewn onto the page, and this is another of those tags. On this one I have stamped onto some calico, sheet music, some doily fabric, greaseproof paper, fabric under there, and you can write on the back. This paper actually is not been tea dyed, it's just some very old paper that I was given. It's just naturally aged, so I used that to make some tags. And that's the end of the first signature. The second signature, I really hope that we are in frame. I actually don't know if we are, so I've only just checked. Beginning of the second signature, this image I got from Pinterest, and it has a gold lace trim and some lace, cotton lace there sewn on, and again you have a nice frame in there. Another of those shabby tags, I shall call them. Let's try, there we go. Again, you've got music, some stamped fabric there, lace, doily, fabric, and you can write on the back. There's another tuck spot made with lace and this rose paper, fabric lace, and a flower cut out there. There's a double tuck spot. There's a tuck spot in there, so there's just put some tea dyed paper in there, and then there's a couple of tags there. Some sheet music with a fabric ruffle. Another tag here made from postcard, and some lace. There's some music under there, lace tab, and that's the back. And this is the middle of the second signature. Again, I did one of those collage spreads. I think this one is my favorite one. Yeah, it's just got lots of things, fabric, music, birdies, some more fabric there, and some trim. And you can journal. That's tea dyed paper which I've sewn onto the page there. You can journal in all the spaces. And on the back is another of those fabric tags. Yeah, and with gessoed sheet music on the back. And I like the patterns in there on the back of that as well. And this is card, so you can paint on there if you wanted to. Some sheet music. This is another tag made from the sheet music cover, scanned in from the sheet music cover, and the Robin's Return, and it's got some paper doily there sewn onto some fabric which has been stamped, fabric tab which has been stamped, and you can write on the back. Another tag from an image I got off Pinterest. Ooh, lots of threads. This one is super shabby. It's got lots of threads hanging off. I might cut them off actually. This is not strictly accurate because it's not music, but I just really like the the writing and the design. It's floral guide, but I've put it in anyway because it's kind of in keeping with the journal. So it's got some fabric on the sides and some lace at the bottom, and a lace tab, and you can write on the back. There's tea-dyed card on the back. Another frame there. And this is a vintage image as well, which has been sewn onto the page. And this is the beginning of the third signature, sewn on and lace. Nice frame in there. And this is a tag which I made with one of those covers. It's been inked. It's got teeny ribbon trim there. I don't know if you can see that. And then another ribbon trim there which has been sewn onto a band of fabric. There's lace at the top, fabric tab, and you can write on the back. Another of those tags that's made with fabric and lots of different bits and pieces with the gessoed music paper on the back. And there's a little embellishment on the page with some ribbon, yeah, just some ribbon and some greaseproof paper under there. Tuck spot with some lace trim there, flower cutouts, some fabric. Is a double tuck spot, and that rose scrapbook paper. There's some tea dyed paper in there, and this is just a scrappy tag made with some various bits sewn onto some cards. So some bits of fabric, a bit of lace, a stamped paper image there, half of a doily, and the tag here, the tab actually is made of tea dyed paper, and it's just all been sewn on. Sheet music with a fabric ruffle. Middle of the third signature, another collage spread with birds, postcards, lace, doilies, fabric, some lace there, some tea-dyed paper sewn onto the page there, sheet music. And on the back is another tag, vintage music tag. And I like all the sewing that happens on the back of the page there as well, and that's card, that one there. More paper, music paper, getting to the end now. Another tag here, which is just got bits of sheet music, stamped fabric, lace, fabric, lace, fabric tab, and you can write on the back. Another of those shabby tags, and there's a bit of calico on the page there. And that's the end. So that's the back of the back inside cover, which has got those layers of lace and 2 tuck spots. And this is from a book that I have that has got copyright free vintage images that you can cut out and use. So I just inked that and sewed it onto some tea-dyed cards. So that's a journaling card there. And there's another of my make your own tag packs, which has got couple of doilies there and a fabric flower sewn onto the envelope, lace trim there, and in here, let me see, we have pretty much the same as was in the other tag. So there's 3 plain tags, there's some old crumbly sheet music there, some gessoed sheet music, tea-dyed paper, a doily, yes, same as the other one, gold fabric, pretty fabric, a bit of tulle, some lace, and a bit of a fabric doily, and they all live in there. So that's for your own enjoyment. And there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed the flip through of this journal. And let me just close it so you can see. I hope you have a wonderful day, morning, evening, wherever you are. So there we have it. Until next time, lots of love. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.